Hola! This is Lisa Ann McCall, physical therapist, posture princess, and lover of movement. Today we're going to do a little bit of doing nothing well. It's a very powerful posture sitting in the chair. And I'm starting to say posture only because everybody says that, but if you think about it, posture, the truest, cleanest definition of posture, is my body balancing with gravity my whole life. So what is, balancing, whether I'm standing, sitting, lying down, it's a relationship. If you don't want to use the word balance, say my body's relationship with gravity my whole life. Posture is always on, okay? So I just happen to be very interested in the movements that we don't pay any attention to. Starting in the 1990s, I did. I studied with a woman from Honduras, and she showed me how my life movements, sitting, standing, bending, walking, and all those things that people do very well in agrarian societies, how that can be life-changing. Well, as a physical therapist, I found out it was incredibly life-changing. It happened to heal the orthopedic problems everybody came to me with. Or it had a huge impact. So today what I want to do is take a movement and really show you how it is about the experience, it's about doing nothing, it's about the setup, it's about the awareness, it's very mindful based, if that's a word you're very comfortable with. It increases your ability to be aware. And it helps heal neck problems, back problems, shoulder problems. Relaxing your body helps relax, and relaxation is a big part of healing joint injuries. Okay, so there you go. There's my spill. So it's called Recline is Divine. It is in my book, The McCall Body Balance Method. But more than anything, it has a little bit of detail that I want you to have. It was probably one of the most powerful postures that made me go, oh, wow, this is amazing, because I had a lot of neck stress, neck tension. So we're going to do that today in two different ways. I'm going to do it in a chair, then I'm going to do it on a couch. I do it in a chair so you can see it more structurally. I'm going to do it on the couch so you can see it more realistically in your life. You have to practice these moves or these postures to gain the feel. It isn't a one-time thing, even though it was very early on in my movement that I got a folding chair and I sat in it the way she taught me, and I just couldn't believe how much better it made me feel. Now that may take a little time for you or not, so let's see, okay? Here we go. So here's a chair that I like to use because it's easy, it doesn't have arms. It's structurally very sound, and I'm putting a piece of fleece. You could put a towel. And this little piece right here is very nice because I can make the chair be a little more personal. It can support me in here. So here's the game. You're not supporting your lumbar. You're supporting the sides of your spine so that your spine can relax into its natural alignment. It's not broken. The spine just needs to be set up so that it can relax into its natural posture. I do a lot of just setting you up right, having you bend right. I set you up into natural movements so that the body just goes with what it already knows. All right. So I'm going to go into this sitting position as I've shown many times. I like to put my hands on my back. What does that do? Keeps my spine straight, opens my chest, and I can relaxingly put my hands on the tops of my hips. I soften my knees. I stick my butt as high in the air as I possibly can because I want you to get a feel for the back of your legs stretching. I want you to realize this is a very important thing to do, is to bend deep in the hips. So when I sit down, you'll notice I am not sitting on the pockets of my shorts. Now I may roll back a little, and it's like I could roll a little forward, I could roll a little back, but you see this? I am not one extreme or the other. So I'm not sitting on the pockets of my shorts if possible. I'm sitting back, I'm sitting more on the backs of my legs. That in of itself can be a game changer for you. Okay. Because it just puts the spine in a different position. All right. So now, here is what happens. I scoot back to the back of the chair, still on the back of my thighs. I have this piece of fleece, you could have a towel. I squeeze it in a way together like a little accordion, like this. And I press down on the chair and pick up my shoulders and my back. And I lean and I support the part of my back between my shoulder blade, the bottom of my shoulder blade and the top of my hips. The part of your back where it is, they call it T7, but it's right there where a woman's bra strap is, and then it goes down to the top of the crest of the hip. That in there is where you are just putting good support so it can relax into a nice, easy position. It takes the stress out of your shoulders because it supports your back. So it's basically between here and here is the area. Here's my hip bone. That, and then I go up to right about here. Here's the bottom of my shoulder blade. So in that area. So back in, I scoot back, I squeeze it together because my spine likes the feeling of that material there. And I press down a little on the chair so I can pick up my shoulders and I can drape my back onto the material. Then I let my legs kick out. Now why I do that is because I want my thigh bones to rest on the chair. I don't want to hold my body up from right here in my hips, which most people do. So I'm going to relax here, I'm relaxing here, I'm relaxing here, I'm relaxing here. The whole front of my body is relaxing, and the back of my body is relaxing because it's being supported by this chair here and by this chair here. So in a way, the reason this can be so powerful is because I'm really learning how not to hold my body. Now I can cross my ankles, some people like that, because then I actually will relax in here. And I didn't know I wasn't relaxing. Or many people say, God, I didn't know I wasn't relaxing. And maybe you just like aesthetically how that looks. Okay, this is phase one. You're hanging out, talking to people, sitting in Starbucks, wherever you are. This is where your body is making huge changes. It is understanding that the back has this long slope, straight slope is what I like to call it. I'm bending deep in my hips, resting. My chest and belly are open, but not forced. And my arms can hang by my side. And my neck can reposition itself and head to a natural, comfortable position. You can use this in the car too. And I have a YouTube video on how to sit in the car that has a lot of this. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you a little meditative moment. I've already taken my glasses. Okay, good. So I'm going to clasp my fingers together and put them at the base of my head. I like to kind of make a little bed in a sense for in the palms of my hand. I put the base of my skull. Okay. Then I close my eyes and I just inhale and exhale naturally. And when I exhale, I let the weight of my head shift into my hands. Now this isn't easy because sometimes our head is holding like this and we're like, I can't, it's not resting. So you might have to put a little push, you might have to give a little, say I got to give a little weight. Now you're not doing this. See this? I'm not doing this, am I? I'm transferring, it's kind of a biofeedback thing. I am transferring the weight of my head into my hands. Then I go through a little mindfulness walk. I say, okay, throat, I want my throat to fall back to my spine. I want my chest to fall to the chair. I want my legs to fall into the chair. And all I'm looking for is my arms to work a little so that my head is letting go and there's more weight in my hands because my head is finally letting go. And you can do it 20, 30, 40 seconds. Don't have your elbows way out. Don't have your elbows way in. Put them where you want them. Nice and comfortable. Then when I let go, obviously my head just comes to a natural position. But this right in here, this will let go. And you'll have a whole different relationship with this chair in your body. It's the relationship with the chair in your body that you're looking for, it to really be so comfortable that you really can't put words to it. I have people say to me, I don't want to move. I just don't want to move. This feels too good. Okay? Now, we're going to come up we're going to hinge from here, and I'm going to show you how to do it on a couch. Okay. So, let's do a little reality here. Here's my couch. I've got 2 pillows. I do this because I really, really want to feel like it's a smaller couch and it fits my body. So I go and I sit, stick my butt out just like I did there. I'm just on the backs of my thighs. I put 2 pillows here because I want it to be a little more firm. Then I'm going to scoot back just like I did in the chair. I'm scooting back pretty tight. It's pretty tight, this little relationship here. Then I do the same thing, but I push this pillow down like it was the chair, just a little, and I kind of drape my shoulder blades, or maybe just the top of my spine over that. You can pull your butt away a little if it feels just like, whoa, I'm too far back. And there it is. There it is again. It's the same thing. The only difference is this is more realistic probably to your life. And that is something that is a really good learning tool to do. I mean, it's just easier maybe to set it up, because I don't know, what your couch is like. You can use a folding chair. It works really well. You can use a towel, like I did, or fleece. So this isn't complicated. Some people, if you have a folding chair that's square, it's a little easier. If you have a folding chair that is padded, it's easier because you don't slide. Metal ones tend to slide, and people get real frustrated. I find that when things don't slide, like leather, metal, it's easier. So it's worth the purchase of a folding chair possibly, or you can just do it on the couch like that. And you do the same thing, hands behind the head. The whole deal is the same. But this hands behind the head thing is a close-up. As I really have my hands nice and comfortable right there at the base of my skull with my fingers clasped. And then I relax. I just kind of let go. Just let go. You touching your neck, you touching your back, you touching is literally a stimulus to relax. To put your hands on your back and just stand like that, or slipping your hands in your pockets, that relaxes the arms, that gives them some place to hang, and it tells you, hey, here's my butt. You think you know where your body parts are? You don't know. Because you may feel back here, my gosh, look how tight my neck is. The more you check in, you change. There you go. That's enough talking. Questions?
Henry in Tucson says, how did you convert watching agrarian people's movements into fixing Western habits?
Okay, so my teacher, Angie Thusius, she studied with a woman named Noelle Perez, and you can look this up if you like. I don't know how much information's out there because Noelle's dead and Angie's rather a lot older than me, and I'm 65. Angie was an artist, and she met Noelle. Noelle decided to study agrarian people. She did the basic studying, okay? Like, whoa, these people move really well. Then Angie brought it to America. Angie is an artist, and she had a whole different perspective on the way to move when I met her. So she taught me some basic, I have a handful of foundational basic movements she taught me. And I just kind of thought, well, that's pretty cool. You know, I really had no idea that I would end up making more and more movements from those movements and literally just testing them out on bodies for thousands of hours and on me and people. And I taught classes for years and still do. And I found out that with these very, very sound basic principles, that movements that she taught me, which are, there's a handful in my book. They're just the sound basic ones. And I created more from that, obviously. That orthopedically, we were just kind of offline. You know, if we brought things back and became more in our body, many of these problems we have are self-healing. And I'm telling you, I really have more of an understanding how little we understand the body, because it is a very self-healing system. And once the structure is stacked well, then the right muscles kick in, the body relaxes, and the system just works well. It's like if you sleep well at night, your whole system is better. We know this, right? We need sleep. And then what does that do? They found out it affects so many areas of our body. Our lymph, it affects everything. Well, that's kind of how the body works orthopedically. So I just kept making them up from what she foundationally gave me. And this is also in my book. I tell the story. And these people are dependent in these agrarian societies. They're extremely dependent on their body working, or they can't live. They have to be able to squat, carry stuff, put their kid on their back, work in the field. And that is part of their ecology in a sense. We don't have to. We do not have to move well, and we do not have to move much to function. But we have a tremendous amounts of problem with stress, orthopedic issues, balance, strength, flexibility, you know all that kind of stuff. So I do notice, though, in our society, Westerners, that if I work with people who tend to be more agrarian, like a rancher, or like I've worked with a large animal vet, they have a sense that a lot of people don't have. I can show them a couple of things and they're gone, they got it. So the more you are in that environment, you just sort of innately do it well. So there's my story. Nice question.
Daryl in Cheyenne, Wyoming says, I'm 6'8". My shoulders tower over most chairs. What do I do?
Okay, so you actually have an advantage. Now, the shortest people are, they don't fit, those things are too big. You would do better on a couch. Okay, so like that couch position, I'd turn you to the tall, I would turn you around and have you do something longer. But with that long spine, I'm going to demo this. Mm-hmm. With that long spine, you sit down and let's say you tower, but you're not going to tower as high over this as you're going to tower over that. So you go over, you do the same thing, you put the pillow, you squeeze it together, and you pick your shoulders up, and your body will drape with more ease. It will drape. You may start supporting your spine a little lower. I don't know if you're more legs than torso or more torso than legs. You can be 6'8", and you know what I'm saying. But you kick your legs out or put them up on something. Those chairs are a little small for you, but you can still get in one. And let's say your waist hits, you just kind of put you'll just hit lower. It won't be perfect because I have a nephew that's something like that. And I've worked with pro basketball players, and they are just abnormally long. But being short and not in those chairs being too big it's a bigger challenge. So you just drape yourself over bigger furniture and you'll be good. And make sure you bend at the hips. When you're tall, you tend to bend a lot at the waist because people are down here and you tend to just want to be nice and do this. So when you sit, find out how not to bend at the waist and get into that hip. You may be uncomfortable because you are going to sit so tall and you're going to probably used to being kind of squished down because you're trying to present yourself to someone else's posture, but you just be you. You know, if you tower, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. At first it may be like, wow, I feel like I'm standing out, and that's okay. It's your life, it's your body. Stand out.
Barry in San Jose says, I'm not sitting on my butt? What's that all about?
You're sitting on your butt, but you're sitting on the part of the butt that attaches to the thigh. So, let's have a butt conversation. Here is my hip bone. And my butt starts right there. Butt starts, goes down, goes down, goes down. My butt goes to here. Okay? My butt ends and my thigh, back of my thigh starts. That junction of the bottom of the butt and the back of the leg is where I'm talking about. Let me do it real quick. My butt, I'm sitting on my fingers, that's my butt. The tips of my fingers, and then the back of my thighs. If we're going to have a butt conversation. So I'm not sitting on the big part of my butt. I'm sitting on the end of my butt in the beginning of my thigh bone, and that means I'm bending at the hips. When you bend at the hips, you'll know, because you'll go, well, there. That's where my butt and thigh bone meet. Very important junction in human movement. Very important.
Tam in Page says, I don't know what you mean by squeezing the bra strap area of my back together.
Okay, I'm not squeezing the bra strap area together. I'm squeezing the blanket together. I'm squeezing this together. Because I want it my back likes all that. My back tends to like a little bit of bulk. If it's really huge, it's not going to like it, but let's say it's sort of skinny. So I'm squeezing that together, and I squeeze that together, and here's my bra. Squeeze that together. I pick up my shoulders, and my spine from my bra to my hip are supported along that material. There's many ways I can show that, but I think that's the easiest. So it's the material that's squeezed. You don't have to do it that way, but I find that to be the most comfortable and easy for people. Like I said, get a thin towel or get some fleece.
They stay there.
Okay.
Next question is from Terry in Denver. Should I feel all of my spine against the chair back all the time?
No, because my spine starts here and it goes down. Well, you know you have a sacrum. They consider that part of the spine. So this doesn't, but there's something along in here. It's like your lumbar, your thoracic. So you can look that up, lumbar, thoracic. And then it stops right around the what's called T7, thoracic 7, and you can look that up if you want. But it is supporting my lumbar and up to about T7 in a lengthened way. It's like my spine from here, this is the top bottom, this is my hip bone, here up to here, that part is supported. And if it's supported in the way that it's that it's designed to just be. It also teaches me when I get up, it just tells my body this is the normal way to stand. I don't have to put my body in that position. It already knows it should be long, and it's just a slight curve. It's very difficult. Don't worry about the curve. Just think about it as long and supported. So from the top of the hips to right about here, that's where most people don't have a good sense of feel and a good sense of understanding how the back supports itself structurally. That's a hard concept for people to grasp, but it does. It does.
Val in Williams says, you say not to let my elbows drop out, but it feels more relaxing than holding them up.
Well, that's fine. There's some people will go way out. I'm just talking about the extremes. I think that there's some happy place for most people. I think that could be, but some people do this. I don't want you to go to this extreme, and I don't want you to go to this extreme, but there is a happy place, and I personally, because I've done this so long, I'll scoot my bottom a little bit away, but there is this, it's open, yeah, it's open, but it's comfortable open, just like you said, it should be comfortable. I just have people taking it to the extremes, and I'm trying to have you avoid that, that's all. So if it's comfortable, that's where you're supposed to be.
Well, here's the other reality. I'm really short.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to try to get my shoulders over the top of most chairs. Any other options?
Yeah.
That's from Ophelia in Eugene.
Eugene, okay. I would use your couch more. Now, if you're in a restaurant or someplace, I would have you put a jacket in a chair, sit on the jacket, so that you're supported leaning forward. And that's another video I've done to help you be with people. For you to be backless is easier when the chair is too big. Okay? So now, you got too big? I would tell you, get to your couch. Get to a chair. Make the couch smaller. Do you see that? I just made this couch tiny. And you can always use a footstool and an end table for your feet. Okay? So you go, you sit down, you scoot back, you press down, and for you could put a little something down here. We can't see because of the sunlight. But you could do this, put that up. My point is, you've got to make the chair, the couch smaller, and when you put your feet on something, guess what? The legs can relax. What I know what you probably do is when you're in a chair, you probably have you're up on your toes and holding yourself up like that. And I want you to have your feet flat so this can relax. So sometimes you have to get to the very edge, or you have to put something, prop something up for your feet. What you're doing is you're making the place in which you're placing your body smaller. It's harder than somebody that's draping their body. At least that's what I've noticed over the many years, is that smaller people have a harder time. So really learn it on a piece of furniture that you can make smaller with pillows.
Last question, Cassie in Pittsburgh. What should the small of my back be feeling when doing this on my couch?
Should be just real comfortable. We have a slight, small lumbar arch.
I think she means, should she be feeling it touch something?
On your couch. Okay. Let me get there so that I can be really good feedback. Okay. So I'm here. Pull it down. Yeah, you'll feel something against your low back. Yeah. But it's not across your low back. And it's not isolated. It's like your whole butt and back. I think that's a great way to start, because we do not realize how much more comfortable we are when our back is supported in the way it's designed to be, sitting or standing or walking. So I'm not taking your spine out of its natural position. there's a slight arch in my low back. It's natural. It's a structural thing. It's your sacrum, L5 vertebra, the lowest vertebra. It has a natural arch. And all I'm doing is helping that natural arch stay there and the rest of the spine be supported in a straighter position. And then when you get up, you feel like, well, okay, this is I can take this with me. I put it on the couch, I can take it with me. It goes everywhere with me. But we have to find it, relax into it, so that it becomes the natural way of moving. And I'm going to tell you, in my book, I show abnormal ways and then I show normal. I show a lot of illustrations to grasp this because I think we're a very visual society. And me just telling you this is sort of, yeah, whatever. What I can kind of see with your shorts, But if you really are interested in that, I do have it on Amazon on what is it? Digitally. I also have it digitally. So anyway, you can buy the book or you can get it digitally. But you might want to look and see, what is that? I'm feeling the support, but what does that really look like in my mind? Or maybe you don't care. Maybe you go, I'm fine. Who cares what it looks like? That's fine with me. Okay, adios. I'll see you next week. Share, like, subscribe. Email me at mccallmethod.com and let me know your thoughts. Okay.